90 Day Fiancé star Sophie Sierra's harsh confrontation leaves Liz in tears, fans shocked, calling her so evil. Reality television has never been short on drama, but every so often a moment unfolds that leaves viewers stunned rather than entertained. That's exactly what happened when Sophie Sierra found herself at the center of a fiery confrontation with Liz Woods, a clash that quickly spiraled into tears, tension, and a wave of heated reactions from fans. The moment aired within the world of 90 Day Fiancé, a franchise famous for explosive arguments, complicated relationships, and emotional breakdowns. Yet even longtime viewers who have watched countless dramatic moments said this particular exchange felt different. It wasn't just dramatic, it was deeply uncomfortable. And according to many fans online, Sophie's harsh words crossed a line. A tension that had been building. 4 weeks leading up to the confrontation, viewers noticed subtle tension growing between Sophie and Liz. In group settings, conversations seemed strained. Sophie occasionally made sharp remarks about relationships within the cast, particularly when discussing emotional boundaries and personal responsibility. Liz, who has been open about her struggles throughout the series, often appeared sensitive during these discussions. Fans sensed something brewing. While the two women weren't openly feuding at first, their interactions carried an undercurrent of friction that hinted at unresolved frustration. Then, during what was meant to be a casual group discussion, everything finally erupted. The confrontation begins. The conversation started harmlessly enough. Cast members were discussing relationship dynamics, loyalty, trust, and the emotional ups and downs that come with being in complicated partnerships. But suddenly, Sophie redirected the conversation toward Liz. Her tone was calm at first, yet there was a sharp edge to her words. She began questioning Liz's repeated relationship struggles and suggested that Liz often places herself in unhealthy situations. The room immediately grew tense. Liz seemed caught off guard. She attempted to respond politely, explaining that relationships are rarely simple and that people outside the situation don't always see the full picture. But Sophie didn't stop there. Instead, she pushed harder. Words that cut deep. What started as criticism quickly became personal. Sophie implied that Liz tends to portray herself as a victim when conflicts arise. She suggested that Liz's emotional reactions sometimes overshadow the real issues in her relationships. For Liz, the comments were painful. Her voice began to tremble as she tried to defend herself. She explained that the emotional struggles viewers see on television are only part of a much larger reality. But as Sophie continued pressing the issue, Liz's composure slowly fell apart. Viewers watched as tears began to fill her eyes. Liz breaks down. The moment Liz started crying, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. What had been a heated discussion suddenly felt much heavier. Liz tried to explain how hurtful the accusations were. She admitted that hearing those criticisms publicly made her feel humiliated and misunderstood. Her voice cracked as she spoke. For a brief moment, it seemed like Sophie might soften her tone, but according to many viewers, that moment never came. Instead, Sophie continued expressing her opinion, insisting that she was simply being honest. To some viewers, it looked like tough love. To others, it felt unnecessarily cruel. Silence in the room. The other cast members sat quietly as the emotional confrontation unfolded. Some appeared visibly uncomfortable. A few tried to step in and calm things down, suggesting the conversation might be getting too personal. But by then, the damage had already been done. Liz wiped tears from her face while trying to regain control of the conversation. Her frustration was clear. She explained that being criticized in front of everyone made her feel attacked rather than supported. For many fans watching at home, it was a heartbreaking moment. Social media reacts instantly. As soon as the episode aired, clips of the confrontation spread across social media platforms. Fans of 90 Day Fiancé rushed online to share their reactions. And the responses were intense. Many viewers were shocked by Sophie's blunt comments, arguing that the situation went beyond typical reality TV drama. Some fans described Sophie's behavior as cold and insensitive. Others went even further, labeling her mean, cruel, and even evil. Posts criticizing Sophie quickly gained traction, with thousands of comments debating whether her words were justified. A divided fan base. Despite the backlash, not everyone agreed that Sophie had done something wrong. A surprising number of viewers defended her. Supporters argued that Sophie simply said what many fans have been thinking for years. Liz's complicated relationship history has been a recurring storyline on the show, and some viewers believe honest criticism was long overdue. From this perspective, Sophie wasn't being malicious. She was being blunt. Fans in this camp say that sometimes the truth hurts, but that doesn't make it wrong. Why the scene felt so different? Arguments happen frequently in the world of reality television, but this confrontation struck a nerve for several reasons. First, Liz's emotional reaction felt deeply genuine. Her tears didn't seem like typical reality TV dramatics. Instead, viewers saw someone struggling with real feelings of embarrassment and pain. Second, Sophie's unwavering tone created a stark contrast. While Liz became increasingly emotional, Sophie remained firm in her stance. That imbalance made the exchange feel especially intense. The pressure of reality TV. Living life on camera is never easy. Cast members on 90 Day Fiancé often deal with public scrutiny, online criticism, and the pressure of sharing deeply personal moments with millions of viewers. For Liz, that pressure has been visible throughout her time on the show. She has openly discussed her struggles with relationships, self-confidence, and emotional stress. Moments like this confrontation can amplify those challenges. When criticism happens privately, it's one thing. When it happens on national television, the impact can feel much larger. Sophie's perspective. While many fans criticized Sophie, she has maintained that honesty was her intention. In discussions following the episode, Sophie suggested that she wasn't trying to hurt Liz but rather express what she believed to be the truth. From her point of view, avoiding difficult conversations only allows unhealthy patterns to continue. She believes that sometimes people need to hear uncomfortable truths in order to grow. Whether viewers agree with that approach is another story entirely. A moment fans won't forget. Regardless of which side viewers support, the confrontation between Sophie and Liz has already become one of the most talked about moments in recent franchise history. Scenes like this highlight why reality television continues to capture massive audiences. They showcase raw emotions, complex personalities, and unpredictable human interactions. But they also raise important questions about empathy, honesty, and the line between criticism and cruelty. What happens next? Fans are now wondering whether the tension between Sophie and Liz will continue in future episodes. Reality TV history suggests that conflicts like this rarely disappear overnight.